Hello Market Club members everywhere. Adam Hewison here, coming to you from the digital studios of Market Club. Well, it is Wednesday, midweek, and we have a correction going on in the market, or you could say a resumption of the downtrend. Let's take a look at the action so far. We're looking at the S&P 500, and this is today's action. We had a move under a lot of pressure, and we came back, and you can see we're sort of up towards the highs, but we're still lower for the week. This is where we closed last Friday, so just look at that. We're still lower for the week potentially, and look at where the 50 line is on the RSI. If we close below, it's actually 49.69 right now, but if it closes below the 50 line, that's an indication you're going to see further weakness, which I think we're going to see. I think the lows that we saw here and here are pretty important, and I think what we can do is extrapolate that out to where it's going to be somewhere in the future here. I think that's what we're looking at. I think we'll see this market under pressure, testing these lows again. There's still a lot going on in the market, and of course we talked about this last week, about the potential of this sort of like box-like scenario that we see. If we go outside the box on the downside, we're going to see it go considerably lower, in my opinion, which I still think will happen. I don't think we're going to see it go over the 1950 level on the upside. That's the S&P 500. Let's move on. This is the Nasdaq, which is actually somewhat weaker, and you can see again the same challenge there. We're below the 50 line right here. You can see they're clearly below the 50 line. And also we are lower for the week. This is where we closed last week, and you can see this is where we're trading right now. So the Nasdaq seems to be the weakest, and this is a situation where you're seeing this type of formation, and I think we'll see this continue to be pressured in the next couple of weeks and testing these lows potentially. So let's see how that plays out. Generally speaking, all of our trade triangles are negative right here. You can see that, the weekly and the monthly, and we have a minus 70 indicating the trend is down, and it's likely to accelerate from where we are now. This is crude oil. Again, crude oil is still below the 50 line. You can see that right here, and I think we'll see this market sort of, it just is locked in a trading range right now, and it really needs to get out. Here's the range that we see right now is basically our box. You can see that's where we are. It hasn't gone out of that since the beginning of the year practically. So I think we need to see this market move out, but nonetheless, the stock market's moving somewhat lockstep in this. When we see a dollar move down on oil, it looks like the Dow is down like 100 points. So again, the trend is down. All of our trade triangles right here are negative. Even if we put our, let's just clear that off, and we put our daily one in, you see that's turned negative as well. So everything is negative. That turned today. So again, we're looking for this market to test the recent lows below 30 and possibly down to maybe 28. So let's move on. Here's a stock that obviously is reliant on petroleum products, is Anadarko, and you can see we had a weekly signal today coming in at 34.24. It's currently trading a little bit higher than that, and I think we want to see that move lower. We think it's going to test the lows. But the way to be in the stock is short. It's minus 90, strong downtrend. We're below the 50 line. Everything's in your favor here, in my opinion. You can see this market testing the 30 level or even the 28 level on the downside. Our last stock for the day is equity. EQT is the symbol, and this is what we're seeing. If you look at this chart, it's pretty interesting to look at, because what we're seeing here is a couple of things. One is this type of formation, which we consider to be a pivot point or a twin peak. We've broken below that level here, and we confirmed it today with the weekly. Even though the market's higher than we are right now, we're still below the 50 line, indicating that we can see this market go lower. So from, let's say, a high of just over 62 to a low, let's say here, of 56. So that's $6. We could say a market down to maybe the 50 level, which takes it back to the support area. So I think that's what we're looking for, about a 10% move on the downside in the stock equity. Well, that's it for today. Let's see how the markets play out, but generally speaking, we're looking for the indices to close lower for the week, and we're looking for the major stocks like Apple and Google and Amazon all to be under pressure. So let's see how that plays out. Have a great trading day, everyone, and don't forget to leave a comment below this video. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.